just straight get into the presentation I've got here, which we'll release to the market also tomorrow morning. Just share the screen if you allow me 1 second. Can you confirm, Ryan, you can see the screen?
We can see it very clearly. Thank you.
All right. So as Ryan said, in our company, Belararox, it was listed on stock exchange in 2022 on the back of a project called Bellara project. That's how the name Belararox came. This project is in New South Wales, in the Lachlan Fold Belt, near Mudgee and Dubbo. We've done some work on the project in 2022, did the drilling, did the maiden resource, 5 million ton at 3.4% zinc and copper and gold, lead and silver. And we have also a project in Western Australia for lithium and gold. And more exciting, and the flagship now, is our project in Argentina, which is for a very large, potentially a large copper porphyry system we are looking to unravel there. So with that introduction, I'll just quickly flick through some of the disclaimer slides, which everybody can read in their own time. And I'll just show you this picture. So this is project on the eastern side. You can see Sydney. You drive 3.5 hours, you get to our project near Dubbo. And on the Western Australian side, the Bullabulling project, which is near Kalgoorlie and just actually west of Coolgardie. And in the slide, on the picture below, you can see the black outline is the province called San Juan province in Argentina. And there's red dots of the project that we have. And the other yellow dots around us are all the either mines or the exploration projects. Just to give you a bit of an idea about Argentina and San Juan. San Juan was ranked #1 by Fraser Institute of Australia in terms of mining friendliness. We are surrounded by very large companies. And immediately south of us is a project called Belararox, which is near my cursor, which is an operating gold mine by BRX and Shandong. On the northern side, we are surrounded by majors like Filo del Sol, Josemaria, London, BHP, Filo del Sol particularly, that we compare ourselves with a lot because of similarity in the geology. It's a 3 billion market cap company where BHP spent 100 million US, sorry, 100 million Canadian to buy 5% of the company. So we're surrounded by large players in a very prospective region. Team is led by exploration team in Argentina, led by my exploration director, Jason Ward. He is a very accomplished geologist. He did a lot of discoveries to his credit. The last one he did while living in Argentina, a discovery in Ecuador called Cascabel, which was for Sol Gold, which is a junior company, became more than $1 billion company. And he's done many other discoveries. And Jason has been living in Argentina for the last 20 years and still lives there with his family. So with that project, and we are copper focused, and obviously copper is in demand, the supply and the demand, that's the opening up that is happening to the extent that price is very strong and likely to be stronger. Everybody's looking for copper. BHP forecast $250 billion worth of investment needed in the next decade or so to meet their supply and demand graphs. There's a lot of activities that are investments happening in copper and likely to be super active like that for the coming years. One of the other attractive other attractive part of my team, my company, is a great team we have assembled. I'm the founder of this business, along with my chairman, Neil Warburton, legendary person, mining engineer, who's been CEO of Barminco and chairman and directors of many, many big and small companies. And Jason Ward is exploration director. I talked about him before. John Tracos is our legal director on the board. And I've got very good chief technical advisor, Dr. Steve Garvin. Steve and Jason, they are world-renowned porphyry experts. Steve teaches porphyry exploration, and he has been part of discovery with Jason on the Cascabel. And my team in Argentina, led by geologist Yanina Girard, very well accomplished environmentalist and also a geologist who's been able to pull together a team of 20-odd geologists and field leads and other people who have been working on site in the last few seasons. Very tightly held share register, about 85 million shares on issue only, and 22 million options of 66 cents. They got another couple of years left in them and 13.3 million PRs. We raised $4 million in March, so we got about $3.7 million in the bank, and there's no debt. So just in terms of the tightness of the share register, you can see the top 20 hold about 50%. And between my founders, Jason Wood, and other founder, Michelle Stokes, we still have about 20% of the business, and some of the key brokers who support us, like CPS, Euros, Evolution, and Canaccord. Between them, their client will represent about 40%. So 60 to 70% I can speak of very easily, and which is a great thing because every good news can bring good appreciation in the share price. And this is just a graph just to show which a point I made. You can see the graph on the right-hand side. So in 2050, the demand of copper would be aggregate more than what the world has consumed between 900 and 2022. So 122 years of consumption will be a demand in 2050. That's how much copper is needed. And fundamentals of copper is quite sort of different than we had the lithium boom in a few years ago when everybody talked about energy transition and EV, and world didn't have enough. It was a supply chain issue. World didn't have the lithium at that time, but there was no shortage of lithium around the world. There's plenty of lithium. It's a matter of developing those mines and bringing those supplies for the factories. But for the copper, which has been mined and explored for centuries, there's not typically big findings happening, and they don't happen very often. So we got to go to the places where much exploration hasn't happened, but it's very prospective. That's why a place that we are in Argentina, which is about 3,500 meters above sea level up in Andes, it's not been explored much before. There's some exploration, but not much, and that's why it presents a very exciting opportunity to be able to come up with a world-class finding for a copper system, which the world is looking for. Just a bit of slide again to show you a bit closer view. This is the project we have. This is the Veladero mine. There's an access road that serves the Veladero mine, and we turn right from there to come to the Toro project, which is the southern tip of our tenements in this red squares. And then we have Malambo and Tambo projects. And the northern side, Jose Maria, $4 billion being invested to develop a new copper mine. Flores Sol, Lona Halsey, Los Helados. This is all recent discoveries in the last 5-10 years, which have become from junior to multi-billion-dollar companies, some of them. So we're well surrounded by good geology and good neighbors. There's a lot of money being spent in that region. The slide on the right, which you can see, is the targeting work which was done by my team initially when we started this exploration program September last year. We flew the satellite, so took the satellite data, and when we come up with the targeting by using thermal alteration and the thermal response of the rock. And what Steve and Jason put together was A-class targets, which is the purple color and the red color. So Toro Central, Toro South, Toro North, Malambo, and Tambo. And they are the projects that we focused on for the field season, where we have completed mapping, sampling, 2D geochem, and the 3D geochem for all those 5 projects. We have announced all the results for Malambo. We are in the next few weeks, we'll be announcing the 2D, 3D geochem results of the Tambo. And then we will be comparing the 3 projects for the drill targeting and drilling contractor selections in the next couple of months before we start the season, which will start in September. We recently announced the Malambo very exciting drill target results. As you can see from the map here, this the red line shows the Molly envelope. I'm not a geologist, but I'm learning a lot from my exploration director, Jason Wood, and Chief Technical Advisor, Steve Garvin. What they say is that these porphyry, which are sitting beneath the ground, sometimes they could be deeper, sometimes they could be shallower. And the material that they have thrown through the cracks, the water material that comes on surface, some of them are mobile, some of them are not mobile. So if you find the things like moly and potassic alteration, all those things, they don't move. And if you find them on surface, then you know you're closer to the porphyry center. If you don't find copper and other metals, it's not sort of that essential because they're mobile and they will, over the time, millions of years of erosion and all, they will move on. But a bit of them is always a good indication. So this on the left-hand side, you see this envelope, and the red line is the moly line, and the other intrusions shown there. And the result of the geology and the 3D and 2D geochem is a result on the right-hand side picture, which is showing where the cross sections are showing where the likely porphyry is to, and the three lines, the black line that show is essentially a drilling kind of drill hole plan. This is very early a concept. We are still working through a lot of details to come up with the proper drill planning, but they're just an indication that we can drill those three holes on that intersection BB. We'll be drilling more into, we're doing more cross sections along the strike, and obviously we'll plan drill holes, and they might be oblique and all. But again, that's a detailed work being done by my team. This is just to show you a 3D picture of the two models, the two 3D geochem model results that were published, Haley model and the Cohen model, and the probabilities of finding that porphyries. So if you have result of 1, which is 100% probability, which would be very close to Rington model in USA, which is the base of the whole modeling work that these people do. And the Cohen model, which takes about a dozen of other porphyry systems, they're predicting the porphyry, and that you can see the probability range 0.15, 0.23, 0.16 in that order, which is considered to be quite high. That means we have a good chance of hitting a porphyry when we do the drilling based upon the results here. And also a comparison of the last discovery that Jason did in Ecuador. This is the moly footprint on our ground on the left-hand side, and you can see very similar to Alpala and the Teniama. And you can see very similar kind of footprint of the moly, and Alpala was a major discovery in the last 10 years. Just go 3 billion ton at 0.5%, 0.52% copper equivalent, and Teniama 722 million ton at 0.36%. They are world-class discoveries. Obviously, these discoveries were also done by Jason in Ecuador, Alpala and Teniama, and hopefully Malombo is his next one. We'll see. I have a small video which actually takes you to the 3D visualization of the modeling results, and hopefully you appreciate. So it runs about 3 minutes, so I'll go mom and allow this video to run. Okay, so as you can see, this 3D visualization of the two models, and just to get you a footprint idea, on surface, the picture that we looked at before is kilometer long by 650-meter wide, and depth-wise, it's probably up to kilometers to 1.2 kilometers in that model. So that concludes my discussion about Malambo, which is one project that we have completed all the work, announced all the work. Now what we have to do is to come up with the drill target, complete the drill targeting work on that one, which we will come out in due course. Now, next I will cover is our Tambo project, which is equally exciting. And if I hear verbally from my updates from time to time from my team, they seem more excited about Tambo and then any other projects. And given the quality of the Malambo that I have just presented, I'm equally excited about presenting results of Tambo in due course. But there are the two targets shown here based upon the alteration and a lot of sampling work that has been done on the site. So there's clearly two targets with the potassic zones and quartz and hydrobasia and secondary copper. So we are in the process of interpreting all the data received from the lab, and we will be soon announcing geology 2D geochem and 3D geochem in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And similar to Malambo, we'll have a 3D geochem results and hopefully a video like that to show it to the audience in future. Just to give an idea about the comparison that we draw with the Philadelphia Sol, the company that I mentioned before, which is owned by London, where BHP spent $100 million to get 5% of that project. You can see there are all different colors of the rock: muscovite, porphyrite, jarosite, and chlorite. This is where the resource sits currently, where my cursor is. And this is on the same scale, our Tambo project, which looks very, very similar. So according to my team, Tambo is very similar to Philadelphia Sol on the basis of this analysis that has been done so far. Very quickly covering the Toro work. The Toro, again, we see a lot of potassic alteration and all sorts of signs for a porphyry or some kind of secondary epithermal system over there. And there's more work to be done, which will be continued to do. And this is showing Toro Central, Toro South. All the work that we have done so far, the samples collected are indicating towards a deeper porphyry system probably here, but also maybe intermediate epithermal system probably containing gold, similar to some other projects nearby. Now, this concludes my TMT project presentation, and I will now move you very quickly to the projects in Australia, which is first one is Bellara. And this is the 3 tenements we have, which contains 643 square kilometer. We own 100% of it. And as I said before, we did the drilling work in 2022, established a maiden resource of 5 million ton at 3.4% zinc equivalent. It's got zinc, copper, gold, lead, and silver. And this project is where my cursor is, Bellara and Native B. And you can see the arrow which shows 22 more kilometers for the south mineralized corridor, which needs a lot of work, has not seen any modern systematic work. So halfway through, there's a Ben Buckley project that we have done some regional work, rock chip sampling and all, and we have found copper up to 1.4% peak copper value in the rock chips. We need to do some more work on this project, and plus also some more for the south. And on the eastern side, there is gold prospectivity, which I'll cover in the next slide. But just to show you further extension of the Bellara itself, this is a long section. You can see the high-grade shoot going north and deeper. We had in the past planned few holes to be drilled to test the drill, and hopefully we will take that up at some point in time in the future. But the price for me at TMT is so big compared to this, although it's not secondary, but again, our energy and time and everything else seems a bit more focused on TMT right now. But having said that, there are some very, very good intersections we had. You can see 7 meters of 2.2% zinc and 2.54% copper, including 3 meters of 4.7% zinc and 5.85% copper. So we've had some very good intersection. It remains very optimistic, remains open at depth and along a strike. Plus, it's a possibility of repeating of it many, many times along that 22-kilometer corridor. Just on the gold side, the rock chip sample that we received from the Lang mine, which is where cursor is, just where Lang mine is, up to 4.99 grams per ton. And it seems to be on the same structure where the reward and hill end is, on the same hill end shaft. And the reward gold deposit is at 490,000 ton at 16.7 grams per ton. So that definitely is asking us to investigate, which we are at the moment in the process of planning our next round of exploration work, which starts with getting consent from the farmers over there to access their land for the exploration work, which we're in the process of doing now. Once we establish those access agreements, we will send a team to do some work finding gold and what's happening there. Now I'll quickly move to my project in Western Australia. You can see Coolgardie on this map on the left-hand side, and we are just west of that. Great Eastern Highway cuts us half, and we are near to a recent lithium discovery by Future Battery Metal, and we are 11.5 kilometers, and the granite contact actually runs along our lease. And we have had good results come out of the soil sampling work we did for lithium, up to 324 ppm. And also that belt is very well known for gold. South of us is a large deposit called Bullabulling, 3 million ounces. North is Gecko, up to 300,000 ounces. And there are gold targets also. So the work that we have done so far is to the level that we can now go and drill test for gold and lithium. And they happen to be in the same kind of constant in the same upper and lower kind of levels. And we hopefully will be drilling holes. We can test both, but we will definitely, it requires now drill testing, and we are evaluating our options to do that in the second half of the year. This slide showed you that lithium ppm concentration in the 5 kilometer strike. This is where we think we'll be drilling. And similarly for the gold, it's coincident in the same area. So gold and lithium, we will be testing in that part of our tenement in the next second half. With that completes the presentation on the 3 projects we have. And there's plenty of news flow that is going to be continuously coming out. For the month of May, which is a month we just finished, in the June, we are doing all this work on Argentina on Tambo project, which we'll be announcing. We obviously have announced all the Malambo work now. We'll be announcing Tambo, 2D, 3D, and the geology. And then we will be announcing the drill targeting work, comparing the 3 projects, prioritizing where we drill first, second, third, like that. And then we are going through now the process of selecting the drillers in Argentina. I was there a couple of months ago, met 6 different drilling contractors, world class. They have all sorts of good rigs, good systems. They're obviously serving the major players like BHP, FMG, Rio, and other players in there. So quality and the skill base that I saw with those drillers is world class. And once we do selection, then we go back in September when the field season opens up. In September, we'll fix the road, build a bit of road to connect from north of Toro to Malambo, and do the drill pad preparation in September, and hopefully mobilize a drill rig in October and drill either October or November. And we do the Tambo drilling after that at Malambo. And then obviously, once the drilling starts, we'll have the results of the drilling that we'll be announcing from that time all the way to the end of season, April, May. And also during that time, because we have not tested all the 12 targets we have at TMT project, we have only done work on the 5 so far. So we were doing the reconnaissance work on the remaining 7. So there's so much work, there's so much news flow that will come out of that project. At the Bellara, as I said before, we'll be looking for the repeats of the Bellara resource along that mineralized corridor for copper zinc. And also we'll be spending time and energy into investigating the gold potential on the eastern side. And on the Western Australian side for lithium and gold, we're likely to be drilling in the second half of the year. And we will make that announcements as we go and we find something. So we're very well set with those 3 projects, but in terms of value, every company that starts drilling and anticipation of drilling that builds is really an exciting time for a junior explorer in that anticipation. And I just wanted to share, it's not a comparison, it's just an examples of in some regions that we operate and some other companies, how the drilling discovery have rewarded Junior Explorer. You can see the NGEX and the Philo, which are the projects nearby us that I have talked before. You can see the discovery, how much they have leveraged the discovery. And other ones, you can see 1,850%, 1,200%, 1,500%, 1,200%. And I kind of experienced that before when I was drilling for Belara, when I ran from 20 cents to $1.50, but that was for 5 million ton. Here I'm discovering potentially opening up to discover large systems, because once you find a discovery there, they're elephant country, you find big, they are multi-billion tons at times. And for a junior having that kind of project, that potential, it bodes very, very well for value accretion from year on when we do the drilling. This is another slide just to show you that we compare ourselves with these companies in the nearby. Philo Corp, which now sits at 3 billion market cap, and their journey. Hopefully we follow the same course, hopefully. So that's all about the presentation. In very summary, we have announced Malambo drill targets. We will commence the drilling in the last quarter. And Tambo South announcement, we will make drilling contractor selection. We will be doing in the next couple of months. We have awarded the camp contract already to a local supplier. So we've got all the camp set up, everything ready for the next season. Bullabulling, we have several targets to drill. Belara project will extend the current resource, hopefully, or extension. We seek for the extensions of that, or repeats of that, or the gold discovery on the eastern side. On the corporate side, we had very successful cap raise of $4 million in March. And also, we continuously keep evaluating a lot of M&A opportunity that keeps coming our way. But our goal is very clear. This is what we have been discussing and advised by our corporate advisors, is we chase copper and we chase large, bigger copper systems. And those kind of opportunities we continuously run our ruler on. And the last one is just to show you the camp that we have. It's a very good camp that can house up to 30 people and well serviced from San Juan by a very good contractor that we employ to look after our people on site. That concludes the presentation. Ryan, if you want to I'm happy to take the questions.
Thank you very much, Arvind. I really appreciate it. It was an excellent presentation. So now we're going to open it up to a bit of a Q&A. So if anyone has any questions they would like to ask, just submit a couple with the Q&A function on Zoom. I've got a couple myself. So obviously the Malambo targets look really promising, and it's really good to hear that you guys are looking to start drilling it fairly soon. But based on where the sites are actually located, how much on-site infrastructure is required before you can start drilling at the Malambo targets?
Yeah, look, all the infrastructure is already in place because we did the full season work last season.
Yep.
The season normally lasts there. You start in September when the ice melts, and then you probably can work up to April. This last season we only did about third week of April. Snow came a bit early. But you get about that window, September till April.
Okay.
So all the roads and the camp I showed you is already in place. We have not moved the camp during the winter. So when we go back, all we have to do is to probably just grade the road again.
Yep.
The Veladero. So we're using that Veladero road that I showed you, the BRX road.
Yeah.
We go from San Juan to the pitch road, then to the mine road. And the mine road, probably you'll go on that for 3 hours. And then you, just before the mine, you turn right to north to go to my project. So from that, when you veer off from the Belararox road to my mine side, to my project side, it's about 40 kilometers. So we'll fix that road. It will take us a week or two to fix it.
Yep.
And we'll be up and running after that.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that clarification. Now, outside of the main projects highlighted today, is there anything else on the horizons that investors should really know about for Belararox?
Oh, look, we got plenty of projects that I just said. We got 12 targets in TMT. We only have evaluated 5, which will be drilled. And while we're drilling, in parallel, we'll be investigating or doing the reconnaissance on the remaining 7 and see what potential they hold. They all look good. And then if you look in Australia, we haven't not even opened up our gold potential on the eastern side of Belara. And we have got a lot of work to do to repeat our 5 million ton resource on Bellara native B that we established in 2022. So plenty of projects that we have. In addition to that, I just said in my presentation, we continuously run ruler on the opportunity that gets offered to us. And I continuously get offered for the opportunities to look at M&A wise.
Yeah.
And without going into details, which I can't till we announce, but sufficient to say we always look at opportunities and discuss which add value to my shareholders.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. And then obviously you guys completed a cash raise in March, right? How is that, with the cash kind of associated, how is the required cash flow tracking for the current projects? Do you reckon there'll be a need to, raise additional capital before the end of the calendar year?
Look, as a junior explorer, we always raise money from time to time, and because we don't generate revenue, we rely upon equity raises to do our work.
Yep.
So definitely there will be a capital raise at some point in time, and I can't be specific about how much and when, but for drilling and for other work that we need to do, we will be raising some money towards the later part of this year.
All right. Thank you for that. And then just one last question from me. When it comes to receiving back the drill samples from the Malumbo first priority targets, when do you reckon investors will be able to expect an announcement regarding those results?
Look, Malumbo, we have already announced those results. You're talking about the results that we finished just now. You're talking about the drilling results next week.
I'm talking the drilling. So the next stage. When do investors think they might be able to get some results?
I'll anticipate drilling results to start flowing through from the first quarter of the next year, which is from January.
Okay.
In that time frame. So let's say we start in October, we'll finish probably a couple of holes by Christmas time. And lab takes about 4 to 6 weeks. We use ALS in Mendoza. So you're talking about January, February, some point in time, we should start to see results from the drilling.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I think that about wraps everything up. So thank you very much, Arvind, for the presentation. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for attending. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk to your listeners. Thank you for arranging this.
Thank you.
Thank you.